everyone, I'm Lauren, and a year ago I survived the college audition process, and here's how you can too. I know the process can seem really daunting, but I wanted to share my experience of how I learned to enjoy and thrive during the college audition process and ended up at the school that was right for me. So to start off, I wanted to tell you the list of schools that I applied to and auditioned for. I chose to apply to BFA acting programs. I'd originally thought I was going to be auditioning for BFA musical theater programs earlier on in my high school career, but I changed my mind because I wanted more on-camera class and a broader education experience. That being said, even though I am a BFA acting major, these are going to be mostly general tips, so if you're a BFA musical theater major or an aspiring one, don't click away. There's hopefully something useful for you in this video too. So the schools I applied to were Boston University, Carnegie Mellon, DePaul, Elon, Evansville, Hartford, Missouri State, the University of Nebraska, the University of North Carolina School of the Arts, the University of Oklahoma, Roosevelt University, Texas Christian University, Texas State University, and Webster University. So I personally attended Moonifieds, and I was a part of College Audition Coach, which is basically a program that coaches you for your college auditions and has a private audition event where you can go and have live pre-screens and live final auditions in person, which was really a great experience. At Moonifieds, I was able to participate in 4 live pre-screens and 4 final auditions there. The other auditions, most of my pre-screens were sent in through Accepted, which you'll see a lot, and then I had some schools that didn't have pre-screens, so I just straight up did a virtual audition with them. And a lot of schools, if I passed the pre-screen through Accepted, then I would have a virtual final audition with them. So at the end of the day, I was accepted into 9 BFA acting programs, and those would be DePaul, Evansville, Hartford, Missouri State, University of Nebraska, University of North Carolina School of the Arts, University of Oklahoma, Roosevelt University, Texas Christian University. Stay tuned till the end of the video to find out which school I ended up going to. My first piece of advice for college auditioners would be to stay organized. One thing that I love is spreadsheets. So when I was a sophomore starting to look into musical theater programs at the time, I created a spreadsheet with like all the schools I'd heard of, and I just Google searched them, went onto their websites, found everything I can, and put it into the spreadsheet. I just had this ongoing list that I would add to throughout sophomore and junior year. Then as I transitioned to acting programs, we actually got a spreadsheet, thank goodness, from a friend of ours who had gone through the process the year before me, and she gave me a much more detailed spreadsheet that I was able to use. This can include things like your budget for travel expenses and also audition and application fees, because those start to add up, and it's nice to know how much you're spending on what, if that matters to you. For me, my parents gave me a budget of how much I could spend on applying to schools, and that definitely helped me narrow down my list. Another thing I would keep in this spreadsheet is what rep I use for what school. This is important because if you get called back for a school, they might ask you to do one different piece than what you did in the pre-screen. So you want to know what you did previously so you don't forget if you get a call back. Another thing that I think is underrated to keep track of is passwords. You will sign up for so many portals and different websites throughout this process, it's kind of insane. Even though I use pretty much the same password for every website, I think it's helpful to not only have probably a separate email account that you start for college auditions, but also a place to keep track of all those passwords and all of the usernames to go along with them. Another thing I kept track of in my spreadsheet was scholarships, and I would fill it in with like a link to the website instructions, the due date, whatever I needed to do, the essay question, things like that. Here were some things that my family and I personally looked at when looking for schools. So this might be important to you, it was important to me, but here's just some ideas of what to look for. Class size, school size, available minors, the diversity grade of the school, which just means how diverse is the student base, whether or not they have a senior showcase, the price, and the school's financial stability grade, which just means how likely is the school to go bankrupt. Another thing that I loved about the college audition process was that my family and I got a poster board from the dollar store, and we made columns on it for all of the schools that I applied to, and it was just so serotonin boosting to be able to put the sticker in the little square and say, I did that, and it was very motivating throughout the process, not gonna lie. The other thing I would recommend, if you're into like hard copy things, I would recommend having a journal for the college audition process. I started working towards college auditions the summer after my sophomore year. So I started meeting with schools and faculty, and I could take notes on that as early as my sophomore year, and I referred back to those notes even into my senior year when I was going through the process. It's also really nice at the end of the process you can look back and go, oh wow, look where I was and where I am now. My second piece of advice would be do your research. There's so many places to find information about schools and not leave you in the dark about what you're going into. If you're specifically curious about schools themselves, I would recommend 2 podcasts. They're both through coaching services, but you don't have to be subscribed to the coaching service to have access to the content. These can be found on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and that is the MTCA Mapping the College Audition podcast and the College Audition podcast. That's literally just the title. Both of these podcasts interview faculty from popular musical theater and acting programs and give you an overview of their program, and you kind of get to have a vibe of that program. If you're looking for more resources on the college audition process, I would recommend the YouTube channel Madison Holla. She helped me so much. I really kept watching her videos and I found so much more information about college auditions in general. I'm definitely going to be posting more videos about my experience as an acting BFA, so stay tuned for those. Another thing that comes with doing your research is reading your plays and knowing your musicals. I did have to sing for a couple of auditions. Actually, the school I ended up going to, I did have to sing for, and it's important that even though you usually can't go online and find the entire script for a musical, that you listen to the whole show, have a good sense of what the show is about, read that Wikipedia synopsis, so that way when they ask you like, what does your character want? What are your tactics? You'll know what to say in addition to analyzing your pieces. Of course, if you're doing a monologue, read the play. Chances are the person behind the table has heard your monologue before. One of my audition monologues that I used a lot was from New Play Exchange, so most of the auditioners hadn't heard of it, so it was good to have like a quick little synopsis in my back pocket because a lot of times I got asked, what's this from? I would also recommend using your resources, and by that I mean friends. I have friends in various musical theater and acting programs all over the country right now, which I'm very grateful to have. So I actually reached out to a lot of people that I knew in programs I was applying to or thinking about applying to. They're going to be the most honest with you about it compared to like meeting with a faculty member. My third and final tip for you today is to be a person. This may sound easier than it seems, but the idea is that you and the person behind the table are looking to see if you're a good fit for each other. These are the people you're going to be training with for the next 4 years, and just as much as they're looking to see if you could be in their program, you want to see if you'd want to be a part of their program. One of the greatest pieces of advice I got from my college audition coach was that if the auditioner says, "Hi, how are you?" and you're like, "Good," and they say, "Okay, what will you be doing for us today?" Don't go, "My name is Lauren Bazan and I will be," like, don't go into your full slate. Don't robot your slate. Just naturally continue the conversation. You want to be as authentic as possible. I personally practice interview questions for my auditions because most in-person auditions will want to talk to you after you perform. Some popular questions that you want to be prepared for with every school is like, why study acting or musical theater, and why our program? So again, it's important to research the schools you're auditioning for. The one question that I would say like caught me off guard during the college audition process was, what are your other hobbies? Some good ones would be reading, baking. For me, when I was asked this question, I said my faith was really important to me, going to church with friends, leading Bible studies, and that led to my motivation for being an actor. It's important to remember also that the people behind the table are rooting for you. They are looking for their next class of BFAs, and they want one of them to be you. They want you to be the solution to their problem. So don't come in thinking they're judging you. Come in easy breezy and just show them what you've got. So now, for what you've all been waiting for, the school that I chose is the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. I ended up choosing the University of Nebraska and I love it here. I chose it for 4 years of camera experience, which is really important to me, and I also really love the faculty here and just the vibe of the campus, and it really felt like the right place for me. I hope you enjoyed hearing more about my experience and advice from the college audition process. Stay tuned for more vlogs and videos like this about my life as a BFA actor here at Nebraska-Lincoln, and comment any questions below you still have about the college audition process. Remember, you are loved and have a great day.